Hey guys, so sadly the Destiny beta finished and I figured that I would create a video like showing a fairly decent multiplayer match that I had and also giving my final thoughts and impressions on the beta and what I hope would follow on through to the game and what they would change. Um, Mainly about the PvP side and balancing wise. There's a lot of people that are crying for nerfs of like certain supers and the interceptor tanks. They don't seem to think that they're fairly balanced. I tend to disagree with those. I think the whole deal with the interceptor tanks is just people just don't understand or don't quite know or haven't figured out a way of taking them out reliably yet. They tend to just run in head on and get taken out with the tank shell, which is, you know, pretty common to happen when they're not actually that difficult to destroy. Even the scout rifle, which I use predominantly in multiplayer, tends to take them down quite quickly. So I don't think that they're overpowered at all. I mean, heavy ammo drops quite regularly, and your supers don't take all that long to charge up. And actually, a single super will destroy a tank. So I think it's just people need to adapt more to those. The other thing is the main people that people are crying nerf for are the Titans super ability, the Hulk smash thing. That I actually kind of agree on of what they think's overpowered about it. It's not the actual move itself, it's the invincibility that it gets whilst it's about to use it. And there's a clip in the video that you'll see actually where like a shot would have killed the person, and I thought it killed them, and I ended up running past them only to be killed by the smash later on because they activated it, I don't know, just in time or something. But it wasn't great, and after that I can see why people are like calling for nerfs on it, because it was a bit of a bogus moment. Other nerf, and again I agree with this one, is the auto rifles. Auto rifles seem a bit too strong. Was in a Iron Banner match, and although Iron Banners do carry over just general like stat-wise, armor bonuses and everything carry over to Iron Banner, but there was literally a guy in there playing as a Titan, and I could get off 2 shots before my health bar instantly just vanished, and they were like 2 headshots and fired first as well, but it just kills you so quickly that you literally had no chance of doing anything against it. That happened like 8 times in a match. I actually sent the guy a message, saying that your weapons are overpowered. I don't actually send hate now. I don't think I've done that since Modern Warfare 2. That was many, many years ago. Although I do get them, which is kind of funny. Some guy actually sent me a message saying that I should stop spamming and actually aim, and I just sent him a message replying like, I don't see how you can spam a scout rifle, but okay, and I didn't hear from him again after that. But back onto the assault rifle, that was completely irrelevant. Yeah, the auto rifle, the time to kill needs adjusting. I think it's good from every range. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, mid to short range, you're going to lose to it. You can get shot from like halfway across the map. And the recoil, if you're used to managing recoil, I mean, I'm a big Battlefield player, and recoil management is pretty much the only way to play effectively in Battlefield. So I'm used to recoil control, and you can literally just keep target from one side of the map to the other side of the map and kill them like pretty much instantly. It's just like less than a second and a half to kill them. So yeah, it seems a bit unfair. And a lot, like a huge difference in time to kill between the auto rifle and every other gun. I mean, when you look at the hand cannon, there's literally no reason to use that over any other weapon in the game. Same with the pulse rifle, but it's starting to feel to me towards the end of the beta that there was literally no reason to use any other weapon other than the auto rifle. I mean, I still use the scout rifle just because I felt cheap every time I used the auto rifle. It was that easy to kill. It was that easy to kill people with, so yeah, I felt cheap using the auto rifle, so I switched back to the scout pretty much after 1 game and haven't gone back to it since. Another thing that recently came up is not necessarily not a nerf, but more than what Bungie has said about the raids and matchmaking and things. I can see why they've decided to not have matchmaking for their raids when they describe how difficult the raids are supposed to be and how much coordination they're supposed to take to complete the raids successfully and efficiently. So I can understand where they're coming from, that, you know, if you get a random bunch of people together that have no communication or don't know each other's skills and weaknesses, that they basically have like a 99.9% chance of failing the raid. So in that sense, I guess it makes sense to not have matchmaking. But at the same time, I mean, I came from the Xbox 360 to PS4 when PS4 originally released in Europe, and I still have absolutely zero friends on on PSN that I talk to. I've added a few people from like Game FAQs and things to play Battlefield with, but I've never actually played with them or spoke to them, and that just there was the Titan thing that I was talking about earlier, where I literally shotgunned them point blank range. Carried on walking because I just assumed, right, that guy's dead, there's no way they survived that, and then you turn around, well, you don't turn around, you die, see the kill cam, well, the end kill feed type thing, and they literally have full shield still. It didn't even take away their shield, and they're absolutely fine. So that, I can see that being a reason for nerf there. There was literally no reason that I should have died there, other than that the Titans with super has invincibility, and no other supers have that. So yeah, I don't like that at all. Back onto the matchmaking of raids. So I mean, yeah, I don't have any PSN friends because I've just not actually spoken to anyone. No one seems to use microphones on Battlefield, myself included. I'm not one to start a conversation, so that's not going to help me in Destiny either, where I'm literally going to have to find people to play with and ask them to do raids and whatnot. And yeah, coming from someone who doesn't tend to talk to people online, that's a bit of a problem. I really hate falling off maps. So I can see both sides of the argument. There are people that are more, reclusive into who they talk to online, and then there's the people who will literally just talk to anyone. They have the confidence to talk to anyone online and whatnot, and also obviously people that tend to have a rather diverse friends list of a bunch of people that they play with. Whereas I don't. So, but I mean, that's on me. It's not Bungie's fault for that or anything like that. So they're getting a lot of hate, and people are actually wanting people to cancel their pre-orders until they change it. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then go for it. Although I don't think Bungie are really going to care, because I mean, you're not going to buy the game for like one thing that you don't like. I mean, if you like 90% of the game and one little thing like no raid matchmaking is going to be 10% of the game that's not included, you're not going to not play the game because there's that tiny part you don't like. Especially when you can get around it by making friends yourself. And other thing that now is being complained about is, now that we've been told how large the maps are, or how small they are, depending on how you look at it, like one zone per world. So Old Russia, what we've seen already is what we're going to get. There are obviously a few extra areas that we can't quite get into, or that we couldn't get into in the beta. They were blocked off by the immune enemies and things, although you could run past them and they would literally just be empty rooms in there. I mean, that may change in the main game. I would imagine it would change. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty sure I've basically explored everything in Old Russia. And to be honest, I mean, it's not small, but when you think of how much they've talked about the scope and scale of Destiny, then you would expect bigger. But at the same time, as long as the worlds are populated with things to do, I don't think there's going to be much of a problem. If I hadn't played the moon mission, then I might have been slightly worried about the size of the game, but after playing that and spending my time to explore the moon as opposed to actually doing the mission, I'm really looking forward to the other two worlds that they bring into the game, and I'm hoping that, well, if they're moon size or larger than the moon, then I'll be extremely happy with it, because the moon was pretty huge, and if you didn't follow the mission and actually went off for exploring, there was it was huge. There was a lot of stuff to find. And it was even bigger than what we actually were allowed to play with. There were certain doors that you couldn't go through yet. If you push the touchpad, the waypoint would actually instruct you to go through those, like to get back to the surface, back to the main mission. But since it's the beta, obviously you couldn't go through them. So, I mean, yeah, if they're that size, the other worlds are that size, then I'll be more than happy with the game. But I'll probably spend most of my time playing PvP anyway. So I'm hoping that I haven't talked about this yet, but the netcode is a bit out of whack. I mean, I've had instances where I would be like hitting someone from behind, like melee attack from behind 3 times, and they would turn around and shotgun blast me to the face. I would die, they would take like another 7 steps in the direction that they was originally going, and then just fall to the floor, and I'd get a post-mortem kill that's melee. I mean, yeah, there's something not right with the hit detection, or there's just something wrong with the netcode in certain places. You won't feel lag, like the stuttery type of lag, but you will notice that like you'll shoot people and you won't get any hit registration or anything like that. Anyway, this match is just about over. Sadly we do lose it. There's not really much more I could have done about that. It's just the way it goes sometimes. I personally can't wait for Destiny to come out on the 9th of September. I'm sure there's quite a lot of other people that are quite excited as well. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you soon.